Hello. I'm gonna wait for a couple people to jump on while I put some paint on a canvas, because maybe if I have enough gray. I wanted to talk to you guys, and I had this planned out this morning because I woke up and had this incredibly crazy, amazing realization that we walk through life with these incredible anticipations about what's going to come and what doesn't show up for us. And, you know, it's crazy how synchronicity works because, hey, Grandma, I was going to come see you today. And then we got all super grumpy after the pool. And my kids, man, they did not want to go anywhere but home. So, you know, it's crazy. Have you guys ever had anything happen where you have like this major expectation about something? I'm going to try to put this forward without. You guys are going to be watching me paint. Major anticipation, major expectation, and then, you know, it just doesn't work out the way that you thought it was going to, or it wasn't at all what you thought it was going to be, or you know, you had such high hopes for someone or something or some experience, and it just didn't turn out the way that you thought it was going to. If you guys can relate to this, then drop me a comment, because I think that we all go through life with these major expectations, and when the expectations let us down, we get really, like, when it doesn't pan out the way that we thought it would, or it isn't the way that we wanted it to happen, or we depended on somebody else for our happiness, or, you know, give me some examples of stuff that has happened to you guys when you had like this high anticipation, right? Like you just knew it was gonna be this way. And then when it wasn't, tell me how you felt. Because so much of life, we expect things to be a certain way. And then when they're not that way, or people turn out to be different than we thought they were gonna be, or, you know, we have something happen and, you know, it just breaks our heart. So what is a situation, or what has something happened in your life where you thought there was you thought something was going to turn out a certain way and it just didn't? My kids are running around upstairs. It's like there's elephants up there. And it's so funny because, hi Angie, I was just scrolling through Facebook for a second and I was like, Angie doesn't do lives, and she just did a live on expectations, and I was like, oh my gosh, the synchronicity is like legit right now. So many times we think that, you know, somebody's going to show up for us, or we think, you know, something is going to happen, and then it doesn't. I knew I was going to get a car. Devastated that you didn't get it, right? Hi, Brandy. Hi, Becca. Hi, Chemo. Wow, there's lots of you guys on right now. Hello, everybody. Hi, Nikki. So, you know, one of the things that I've learned is no one is going to do things exactly like you. And no one's going to show up for you like you expect them to. And the best thing you can do in life is to be okay with letting situations be as they are. And if you can't learn how to let something be as it is, you're going to constantly be in this emotional state of lack. Well, if it was only like this, and if only this would have been said, or if only this person would have done this, or, you know, if only such and such would have happened. Because we have to learn how to depend on our expectations of ourselves. And we're only as good as how we feel. Does that make sense? We're only as good as our best emotion, right? We're only as good as the love that we feel for ourselves. And if we don't have self-love and we expect someone else to help us or make us happy, man, it's going to be a pretty hard road, right? And I didn't really understand all of this until I went through a situation in my life where I thought and I expected people to do what they say they were going to do. And I didn't realize how hard that was to realize that not everybody is going to be like you. Not everybody's going to care about things like you do. Not everybody's going to follow through with, you know, their goals or their dreams, or, you know, life is going to get in the way for people, right? And I read a post on Facebook and it said, the giver doesn't have a hard time sleeping at night, but the taker does. And man, that hit me. That hit me probably harder because I've always been an overgiver, which is another word for codependent. If you guys are following along with me, drop me your favorite emoji. Because so many times we use our weaknesses as excuses, right? We use the things that we need more of, or, you know, something like that, as an excuse to not become better, not become enhanced or changed or something like that. Hi, Chelsea. But it's crazy because I've been watching things happen in life, and I've been watching people, and I've been watching situations, and, you know, fear is something that holds us back so much. It holds us back from happiness, and when we expect things from people, we're putting our happiness in the hands of someone else. We're putting our happiness in limbo, essentially, right? And I always thought that I had to be popular or well-liked or do things for people to have them like me. And when I realized that that doesn't work, it was like my whole world came crashing down, right? It was like everything that I had going on, it all seemed so unreal. And when you can learn to expect nothing of anyone, but always be grateful for everything that happens, your entire life will change. Everything about your life, everything about the way you think, everything about the way that you live. And how do you do that? I'm going to let my background dry for a minute. Ta-da! Background is done. I love painting. If you guys don't have a creative outlet, man, painting is so cool. But how do you let go of expectations and just live right here in the moment? And then when something does hit you, how do you move forward from it? Well, first of all, we have to celebrate our successes. We have to celebrate every little tiny thing, because it takes 20 positive things to counteract one negative. And if you're living on an empty tank, if you're living on this tank that is so low in fuel, every time something negative happens to you, it's going to dip deeper and deeper, and you're going to run out of gas. And when we expect things from people, when we expect things out of situations, when we expect money to come, when we expect people to show up for us, when we expect our kids to act a certain way, when we expect our school system to provide something for our children, there's always a letdown. But when we go in with no expectations, and we go in with, this is the way it is, I'm just going to be grateful for every second, we become in the moment, right? We live in this place that is so beautiful that no matter what happens, we've filled our tank up enough that it actually doesn't put us in the red. It doesn't suck the life out of us. And for so long, I had all of my happiness and all of my expectations and all of my joy in other people's gas tanks. And I never even realized it until all those gas tanks went away. right? Little by little by little, they didn't have anything else to help fill me. Well, what happens when you don't have anybody else that'll fill you? You've got to do it yourself. So success, celebrate the successes, celebrate your children, celebrate your family. I saw another meme on Facebook today that said, you want to make the world a better place? Go spend some time with your family and your kids. Go spend some time with the people that are going to go out and change your world, that are going to make an impact because of your influence. And when we live and we thrive off of other people's expectations, when we put our gas in other people's tanks, nobody cares more about you than you do. Nobody's going to come save you. Nobody's going to come pick up all the pieces when your world comes crashing down, because it will. Something will happen and you'll be left with like, what the hell? How did this happen? How did I get to this place? But you got to have the tools in your handbag to help you crawl out of it. You got to have the tiny little things that continuously deposit into your fuel tank. And that is your spouse, your church, your family, your kids, your sister, your brother, your core group, right? And if you don't have that, then you've got to have prayer, your journal, gratitude, empathy for others, appreciation for your life and for the things that you have going on in your space. And it took me a really long time to realize that I had so many expectations. And now there are no expectations. And so if I do get triggered, it's for a tiny second, because I fill my own fuel tank up. And I depend on myself for my happiness. And I depend on me for my mood. And I depend on me for the amount of money I make, or the people I influence, or the motivation I get in the morning. And it all comes down to our daily routines. What do we do every single day that fuels up the gas tank? What is it that we do every single day that shows us that we're worth something, that we're worth more than expecting something from someone else? And once you get to this place, there is a freedom here that is more beautiful and more peaceful and more blissful and more filled with joy than you can ever imagine, because you don't depend on anyone else. You've got you've got your guides, you've got your connection, you've got some people call it ascended masters, you've got your master group, and that's you with your people. And I'm not talking about other humans, I'm talking about your people. And you fill it with gratitude, you fill it with joy, you fill it with bliss, you fill it with worthiness. And when you feel worthy, no one can take that worthiness away from you, no matter what they decide, no matter what they choose to do, no matter what experience you walk through. You might get tipped over, you might get barrel rolled, you might get like your whole world comes crashing down. But I promise you, fill up your own damn tank. Fill it up. Make the decision. Do something you've never done before. Step out in fear, or in faith, and not in fear. Step out in faith without fear of what other people will think about you, what other people will do for you, how other people will react because of your decision. And watch your whole world come together. Because there's another one that said, people don't walk out of your life, God removes them, because there's something better that needs to come in, right? God doesn't take a job away from you because he thinks that you don't deserve that job. He's replacing something else that is better, more fulfilling, less manipulative, less controlling, less time consuming, right? And when you realize that, when you have that epiphany, and when you get it, there's this inner fire that will start to burn. There's this ignition switch that'll come on. There's this pilot light that's just waiting for you to put fuel on it. And when you do that, life changes completely. It's not easy. It's not even simple. It's difficult, and it's you have to put intention into it. You have to put creation into it. Just like this blank canvas, it was blank 10 minutes ago. And now there's going to be a creation on this. It's going to be a beautiful flower. And I'll post a picture after I'm done. But I got to let it dry, and I wanted to paint with you guys today. I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to chat with you like friends, right? Have a conversation. Because how many of us go through life expecting things to happen and are constantly disappointed because of other people, because of experiences, because the money didn't come when it was supposed to, the person you expected didn't show up, or you did something and you failed at it for a minute. We fail forward in this life. And so many of us hold ourselves back because we're so afraid to fail. That's the only way you're going to learn. You gotta try something. You gotta attempt it. You might not succeed the first time, the 5th time, the 500th time, or the 10,000th time. But you have failed when you give up. You have failed when you stop doing the things that'll bring you to where you want to go. So let go of expectations. Let go of the anticipation of something coming. Look at where you are right now. If you love it, keep doing it. If you're ready for it to change, start creating something different with new intentions. Start putting new thoughts out there. Start putting new feelings and a new vibration and a new energy out there. And watch what your life will do. Consistency and time will bring you everything you need to come into your space. That's why I'm doing this gratitude class. I'm so excited about it now because so many of us walk through our lives with expectations and we feel depleted afterwards. That means we're not living in a state of gratitude. We're not living in the moment and having this amazing stuff come in, right? We're expecting something to make us happy. We're expecting someone to do something in order for us to feel joy. We're expecting an experience to be a certain way, and then when it isn't, we feel flat. We feel dull. There's no life left, right? But we have to be the ones to create those experiences. We have to be the ones to take the empty canvas, throw some paint on it, and watch what comes. Watch what happens. Watch what you create by your choices. I could put black on here. I could put purple. I could put blue, red, green. I could do yellow, orange. I could put so many colors on this. I could do white. But whatever I choose to put on this canvas and this creation will determine the outcome of it. And am I going to overthink it? Absolutely not. I'm creating. I want it to be fun. I want it to be pretty. I want it to be colorful. I want it to flow. So therefore, I'm going to put things on here as my intuition guides me. And we'll see what happens at the end. I hope this live helped somebody. I hope this impacted someone who has been through a situation where there was an expectation and it wasn't met. Because you are worthy no matter what the outcome is. You're worthy no matter who didn't show up for you. You're worthy even if you missed that portion of what you were working towards.